This is a formidable machine, and it often causes people quite a bit of consternation. The layout is, a lot of your sound sources are here, oscillators, complex oscillator, dual oscillators, another complex oscillator down here. We have some filters here, random voltage generators, then we have the function generators, the low pass gates, the amazing spectral processor here, some effects up top, and an amplifier on the top right corner. This is where your outputs are. Buchla divides its signal into two parts. See these cables here? 3.5mm cables, or mini jacks if you like, are for audio signal path. Banana jacks are for control voltages. So what we'll start by doing is simply taking the audio output of this oscillator here and plugging it straight into the input of the second inlet here. The reason I use the second input on the mixer is that the first one is always panned left, this one is always panned right, and you can voltage control the pan on those outer channels, which is a great function for later on. But for a straight signal in, I usually go to the second one. I turn that up even slightly and we can hear that ridiculously nice oscillator. What I'm going to do is keep that plugged into the output of the oscillator and plug it into the input of this low pass gate here. Inputs are at the bottom there. And then I'll take the output at the top here and plug that back into that same channel. Now we won't hear anything because this is turned all the way down. So you can turn that up and hear it. What we want to do is we want to control that low pass gate with some voltage. And you can see here in the function generator, I think we've got a close-up of this, you can see this light pulsing away here. That's actually just a voltage going up and down with a visual indicator. Now these function generators can either self-trigger in this way, or if I click that, it will wait for a pulse input. Blue is a voltage output. Black is a voltage input. So we're going to take the voltage output of that function generator and just pop it next door into the low pass gate. So now you can see we're hitting that and we're hearing it. We can adjust the width of that gate there. The decay on the envelope, I should say, on the function. So now, just to control the pitch of this oscillator, we're going to take the signal from this keyboard, but in order to make sure that the keyboard is also attacking our function generator there, I'm going to click this over into a mode where it's going to be receiving a pulse, that second mode. I'm going to take the pulse output of the keyboard. The red outlets are pulse outlets. These orange inputs are pulse inputs. So when I do that, I'm only going to hear something when the pulse is coming from this keyboard. It's currently arpeggiating. So when I hold that key, I can hear that. In order to take the pitch information, I would come out of the main output of the keyboard and plug it into this input of the oscillator. Simple. If we wanted to add a filter, we could interrupt this signal chain, and we could take this audio output into the input of this filter over here, then take the output of that and run it back into that low pass gate. And we hear the effect of that straight away. It can affect the bandwidth and the center frequency there. But we can also complicate the timbre of our oscillator with an FM input. This is where the Buchla gets really quite serious. So we can take the output of another oscillator here, put it into the FM, and control how much that influences that. And then immediately you can hear a change in the complexity of your timbral world. Oscillator, low pass gate, amplifier, function generator controlling the low pass gate, keyboard controlling the pitch, keyboard controlling the pulse. Red is a pulse out, orange is a pulse in, blue is a voltage out, black is a voltage in. And once you know that about the Buchla, you can pretty much do whatever you like. Lots of interconnected control voltages. And notice here that it's totally fine to stack on an output. So send this pulse to multiple sources, but really not a good idea with these machines to stack too many banana plugs together onto an input. I'm taking the pulse output from the keyboard into the quantized random voltage, which gives me an in-time random voltage to work with, juxtaposing that with some more fluctuating random voltages that aren't quantized, using the FM on this oscillator, from this oscillator, and then using the complex oscillator, modulating one with the other and controlling it all. Also sending a random voltage back to the input of the arpeggiator here. It gives it the rhythmic interest.